Hi. I'm going to talk about my influences as a young artist. When I first started thinking I could be a painter, and what that kind of meant. When I was a 57, 16-year-old kid, in high school, Monet was my first love. Um, at that time, they had just cleaned the paintings in the Boston Museum of Fine Arts, and I'd go there often. And I'd see them in this beautiful room with natural skylight. And they just were just so amazing to look at. And you can see they had an amazing collection, they have. And that's the haystacks he painted at different times of the day over different seasons. And there's a luminosity that you just kind of blows you away if you see them in person. I did a copy of this painting as a senior when I was a senior in high school. It was an assignment, and it hung on the mantle of my parents' house for forever. Anyway, I have a short stack of influences. The Hudson River School painters was also a big influence, and for many, many, many reasons. I mean, they're just amazing, amazing painters, and museums had Boston Museum had a lot. So I got to see some in person. This is Bierstadt, a Western painter, but still quite a lot about America. This is Church, and Cole, and there were a lot. This was actually New Hampshire. You could sort of relate to that. I knew where that was. We took trips to New Hampshire and other places, and so that was kind of an interesting thing that I didn't think of at the time as being. I just thought of that really now. It's like, oh yeah, these painters I admired. I could see where they were working, and I lived there. Hopper, of course, is still a great influence. Really amazing painter. For a number of reasons. He really worked from drawings. I'm just sort of waking up to that concept. I think he worked, I don't know, he worked these light on walls, those kinds of here I am sort of things. I really relate to that. Cape Cod, and he was in Cape Cod. We used to go to Cape Cod. So places like, things like that are very accessible. It's like it's where you live. You can relate to it. And much of these things that I was exposed to as a young kid were products of growing up in Boston and having access to a place like the museums, the Gardner Museum, which is an amazing collection, and having that as a reference was really it's like operating code. You know, it's hard to describe how that is. If I didn't have that, I don't know what I'd be thinking of now. I mean, so much of that is part of the culture you brought up in your family and what you're exposed to at an age when you're very impressionable. And there's no regret. It's just the way it is. I mean, I'm a boomer. Goya. That doesn't really fit the group here. There's all American. There's a lot of two Americans. And it just blows you away when you see what he did with the Los Caprichos and the disasters of war. That's a very popular image. But there were hundreds of these incredible and completely different from what I do. But like many other influences, it comes home and it talks to you. So those are some of my early influences, and I just wanted to let you know. Thank you.